Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the Griffith from Berserk build in Baldur's Gate 3. I'm going to be using the Berserk Griffith armor set by Skirby here, as I think it looks incredible in Baldur's Gate 3, but this is not required. I'll be using all base game classes to do this build, because I think there's two that actually work very well, pre and post Eclipse now. The combination we'll be working with is a Sword Bard alongside the Warlock. Both of these are powerful, charisma based, and they just make sense to pair together. And I think it's the most perfect pairing for Griffith here. I think starting Bard is likely the better option as you get the slashing flourishes, and that's a huge boost to our DPS. And for the cantrips we'll be grabbing at level 1, Mage Hand, you can throw health potions and water bottles to set up your other teammates, and Vicious Mockery, it makes sense to grab that. Now for the cantrips we'll be grabbing Thunderwave, we're going to go with Healing Word here. I guess Healing Word doesn't fit perfectly thematically. We'll go with Dissonant Whispers and Longstrider. And then for our ability scores, we're going to go with a stat spread of 16 Dexterity, 14 Constitution, 16 Charisma, 10 Intelligence, Wisdom. If you're the face of the party as Griffith, go 17 Charisma and use the Hag's Hair there, but we're going to roll with this stat spread here. I also thought Astarion was perfect for this role because he kind of has that Griffith look to him there. So level 2 gives us our Jack of all trades and Song of Rest. We get half our proficiency bonus, anything we're not proficient in, and an extra short rest, which actually pairs very well with the Warlock because that gives us an extra replenishment of our spell slots. And once we get here, I guess we can grab Fairy Fire. Nothing super important there for us to take. Level 3 is when we get our most powerful ability here. Now, Griffith is known for his slashing attacks, and that's exactly why we got slashing flourishes here, which is just perfect for this. And then also kind of a parry with the defensive flourishes, which will give you that increase to your armor class of 4. So I think this just makes sense. Thematically, he's good with his rapier here. So yeah, defensive and slashing flourishes. Now for our spells that we'll be taking, I like to have Hold Person, but we can also get this from the Warlock. So it depends. It's better to take spells that we normally wouldn't be able to get access to from the Warlock, so we could grab like Silence there. But I like to have Hold Person early on, so we're going to grab it now. And we get to take a fighting style here, so dueling is going to be a little bit better since we're going to be using a rapier, so that's what we'll roll with there for our stat spread, although you can do a dual rapier build, it doesn't make sense here. Level 4 gives us our first feat, another cantrip. Friends kind of makes sense here for Griffith to have. Level 2, next level spell. Cloud of Daggers is pretty decent because it's guaranteed damage against the enemy, but we could also go with this Shatter here if there's enemies that are made of stone or inorganic materials. Knock is also a really nice spell, just makes some things that we get into a bit later a little easier, and it just makes sense for us to have, but I'm going to grab Cloud of Daggers. And for our feat here, we're going to go with an ability score improvement on our Charisma, although Alert is always a great idea too, because going first just means so much, but we're going to also have heavier lines on our Charisma stat. Level 5, we're almost getting there to our big boost in power. I like to grab Glyph of Warding here because you can drop down Lightning Sleep and things at your feet. If you're a half elf, you can drop Sleep and it won't impact you. Then you can get critical hits off against the enemies. I also think that Fear actually makes the most sense to grab, so that's what I will go with. And then for our final level in the Bard, we're going to get our counterspell, counter charm, and our extra attack. Now the nice thing is with the Warlock, you do get the extra attack stacking if you're outside of honor mode, making this truly busted, and it just makes sense Griffith would go for the most powerful option. Now, Plant Growth is a good choice, but I like Glyph of Warding there. It's kind of like a short-range fireball that you can use. And then once we get to level 7, this is where we're going to add in the Warlock, and in particular the Hexblade Warlock, because this can give us our Bind Hex weapon here. In addition, we can also get the Shield spell, which is nice because we can use our Bard spell slots on that. And we want to grab Booming Blade. This is going to be a very big damage option for us, and Eldritch Blast obviously makes sense to grab. We're going to have the Shield spell there. And you can grab Hex because we can actually use our level 1 spell slots on those from the Bard, which is just a nice change. Level 2 gives us our Eldritch Invocations and another choice in spell. I guess Wrathful Smite or Armor of Agathis are the best choices. Repelling Blast and either Devil's Sight or Agonizing Blast for level 2 invocations, but level 5 will grab the other one. I like to get Devil's Sight because seeing in Magical Darkness is such a big buff and allows you to use Arrows of Darkness as little safety pockets. Level 3 gives us our Pack boon. Blade will give us the ability to do an extra attack at level 11, which is extremely overpowered. If you want to stay balanced, or if you're in honor mode, take Pack of the Chain or Pack of the Tome. I think Pack of the Chain is a little bit better with the Quasi that you get. And then for our next level spell, we already got our Hold Person, which is charisma based. Darkness can be really nice too, especially because we have Devil's Sight. Mirror Image is great, so is Misty Step. And Shadow Blade is going to be the most damage, but we already have a weapon from this. Although if you don't use the mod, you can go Shadow Blade. I'm going to go with Misty Step there because I just like being able to teleport away. If you need it as like an oh shit, get out of the situation button, it's great. Level 4 gives us another cantrip here, and Mistress Booming Blade. We can go, that's from Mistress Spells. We also have the Bone Chill, which I like because it stops targets from receiving healing. And now we can take either Darkness, which just it gives us a huge boost to our defense, or Mirror Image, which kind of does the same thing. I love Shadow Blade, but I don't want to abuse that for this build. Plus, I'll be using the weapon here, although you don't have to use it, and that's why I mentioned you can take that. I'm going to go with Mirror Image, though, for the big boost to our armor class. And then here we can go with a boost to our Charisma all the way up to max. I think it makes sense for Griffith to have max Charisma. Although I really like the alert feed for that +5 to initiative as well. It's just extremely valuable to be going first. So you can go with either the Charisma or the alert feed. I'm going to take alert, but Charisma just makes more sense for Griffith. And then level 5, we get the Deepened Pact. So now we get the 3 attacks per action, which is huge. We can also grab Counterspell, which is massive because we can use our Warlock or our Bard spell slots on. So it actually gives us a lot per short rest. We get a lot of them back. And then we can take Agonizing Blast to add our Charisma modifier to our Eldritch Blast, so +4 or +5 damage. And then finally, level 6, we get the Accursed Spectre. If we take out an enemy, just a little heads up, if you use Call the Weak, it won't trigger it, because it doesn't count as you actually taking out the enemy. And we'll take Hunger of Hadar for our final spell. And yeah, I think that works well. Again, you can use Shadow Blade if you want to, because it's pretty overpowered, but I'm not going to for the purpose of this. Now, this armor mod is incredible, but I'll go over some choices for the different pieces of armor. So I have the Griffith's helmet there. You can pause if you want to see what it gives. I would recommend the Helmet of Arcane Acuity, the Mask of Soul Perception, or you can even go with the Hood of the Weave, or Helmet of Baldur, because we got medium armor proficiency. In early game, the Haste helmet is great. Cloak of Protection if you'd like some defense, or the Deathstalker Mantle if you're Dark Urge. For our medium armor here, I would like to go with either the, so we have the Armor of Agility, which gives a pretty high armor class there. And we don't have heavy armor proficiency, but the Adamantine Scale Mail is great early game as well. I also have the Griffith Reborn gloves here, but the Helldust gloves work great, or gloves of Dexterity in the early game. And then for our boots, the Boots of Evasion or Disintegrating Nightwalkers are great choices. I just have the Griffith's Reborn boots, and then Griffith's Rapier. You could go with the, there's a few really good options, like there's the Rapier, Infernal Rapier here that you could go with from Will's questline. The Knife of the Undermountain King's a great early game weapon. So is the Justiciar Scimitar. So you go with any 3 of these 3. I'm not sure why it's not popping up there. But yeah, the Knife of the Undermountain King's actually a pretty good early game option you can go with. It gives you the Shadow Blade ability, and of course you can use Shadow Blade too. I'm also using the Bend of the Mystic Scoundrel. Allows us to do a bonus action enchantment or illusion spell, and a free critical hit from the Killer Sweetheart. And then Hellrider's Longbow for the +3 to initiative, so we can hopefully go first. The mod also comes with some weapon abilities here, like the Gust Cutter here. You also get the Phantom Strikes, the Lunging Hawk, Dance of the Blade, Golden Light, and Multi-Thrust. So it's pretty cool. It comes with all of this here. And we got the highest initiative here, which is perfect. So this lets us go in and start getting into fights. Now, the Helmet of Arcane Acuity would have been really nice here. But the thing is, with our slashing flourish, we can technically hit a target 6 times in a turn. Or 6 targets, basically, with our 3 attacks. I was going to go with a main hand attack here against this target, the free crit off that gives us the kill. And then to go ahead, I guess, going around to any other targets here. We also have Booming Blade that we want to use at least once per action, which gives a lot of extra damage. You can see there, it's actually pretty nuts. And then to finish off our final action here, I'll just go with another stab and attack. Boom. So there we go. We got 3 takeouts there. And then I guess we still have our action here. So we can go with some sort of spell. I like to go with a any type of like hold person and get myself the free crits off on a target. So that can actually be a really good option if you want to, like, if you could get lucky, that's a 55% hit chance. But the free crit, yeah, perfect, is exactly what we need. And then since we did it as the bonus action, we can do a pure action there. Unfortunately, lost my concentration. Mind broken from the lithium. Yeah, that was unfortunate. But we do have our counter spells, which is actually really nice. Didn't succeed on it, but alright, so that was a very unfortunate turn of events. So we'll start off our next turn with our attack that didn't even actually finish him off, unfortunately. So we'll save our Booming Blade for another target. Oh crap, that sucks. Hexblade's curse is applied at least, so we can maybe take out a Spectre. There we go. We got a Spectre. That was at least worth it for the 3 attacks to take out the single target there. So yeah, we now got the Spectre here, and that was our only action because I lost my haste from that. So I guess what we could do is either use the Fear spell, you can only hit 2 targets with that, or the Hold Person spell, which will at least 70% chance and 70% chance. Helmet of Arcane Acuity would help a lot here, but hey, we were able to hold them in spots, so that's perfect. And the Shield spell coming in clutch once again. +5 to armor class for a single level 1 spell slot is fantastic value. And since we got the Hold Person off on them, we're just going to go with a Booming Blade, which is a critical hit. Didn't finish them off, but our Cursed Spectre appeared and missed. So I'll run around my Cursed Spectre and stab this target. We still have the Quickening Incantation, so I'll finish them off. Raise another Cursed Spectre here, so that's kind of cool. We get a couple of them at least. This target's held in play, so I'm not going to actually bother with them. So it would be ideal if I had a way to deal with these two targets here. But you can do a bonus action Vicious Mockery or a bonus action Dissonant Whispered, which is kind of nice. This at least gives you one option for damage. And we frighten that target. That's at least something. And this will attack and also fail. It's yeah, lovely. I guess it's our turn again. So we want to take out the targets that are not affected by Hold Person. So I'm going to go with a Booming Blade against this target here who's frightened. And potentially take him out. And then we'll stab him again to finish them off. Boom, our Cursed Spectres came in clutch there. And I'll go after this target here. Wasn't enough to finish them off. So we got another bonus action. I guess we go with another Dissonant Whispers here. There's at least some damage. And we applied Frightened as well. The nice thing with Frightened is he's stuck to be right in front of us, and then our Cursed Spectres... Oh, that was actually scary. Our Cursed Spectres will move in and attack. We'll see. Oh, they're attacking that one. They missed again on... That's 3 misses on Hold Person. Crazy. See if they hit him. Oh, 9 damage. That's something. And they're frightened, so they couldn't get away from us. Then we can go ahead, raising another Cursed Spectre. This is a streak of them. Again, Call the Weak does block them quite a bit. They got out of the Hold Person, and then we got ourselves another Cursed Spectre. That's 4 of them. That's pretty cool. So there it is, the Griffith build in Baldur's Gate 3. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already. I also have a build for Guts, and that's the armor that I'm wearing on Minsk right now. So you can check out the Guts build if you want as well. It's a bit different, and I think very thematic. I was using the Tiger Heart Barbarian to give Guts his big cleave attacks, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed. I hope you have a great day. We'll catch y'all in the next video.